Okay, so today we'll again deploy that project. Okay, so now here we are using ADO generator, and using the ADO generator, whatever the project you want to import, you can import. Okay, let's say here
Hello? Huh?
we have around 40 projects we have. Some of them try to import all these projects also. Okay, if you have the time, at least 10 projects, you try to import and practice those. And I'm going to import 40. Okay, and using the path, I'm going to authenticate. Okay, then our organization name. So we need to enter our organization name. We need to enter. Say GR. Then the token what we have generated, the token we need to enter here. In the user settings, personal access tokens. Again, I'm regenerating that same token itself. I copy to this. Copy. The given my Kubernetes app. Now it is importing all the project settings, boards, all these from the GitHub also we can clone, but boards, all those we don't get. If you import from this, we can get all these. Okay, so these all 64 around applications we have. Try to import at least 10 to 20 and explore those folder structures. All those try to explore. So now once this is imported, this job is done. Like we'll go to our project. So I'll give no. If you want to import even yes, you can give. So here, if you want to import any other project also. So maybe for Sonar Cube, we want to practice that everyone try to practice 16th project also. Okay. Then here we need Sonar also. Then it's going to maybe installed that extension and licensing. Okay, all that also will explore because we are going to use Sonar is also is a marketplace extension. Like this, import different uh, projects. Then if you come to this project, so what is the project name we have given is My Kubernetes app. My Kubernetes app we have. And if I go to my boards, some 6 work items have been created, right? For the multiple applications, we have different work items. Just spend some time on this in the Azure boards. What are these work items? All these also just try to understand. Okay, say this would be more very useful to understand our agile kind of methodologies. What are the boards, backlogs, sprints? Like in the Scrum, we need to have these all like knowledge we required. Then already that repo also have been imported, and this is one app like maybe .NET based app they have developed, and using the Docker or Kubernetes, we are going to deploy this using the Docker and Kubernetes we need to deploy and try to understand what are the Docker file we have and Azure pipelines we have. Now we want to make it this Azure pipeline need to work. Okay. So then what is this pipeline syntax we have? We'll try to understand. So we'll try to understand this pipeline script. Okay. So then here we have this build configuration. We have release, web repository, like these all the variables we have. And in that we have the stage, build display name is fine. and VM image. This is from where we are getting this, from the marketplace. Sorry, from the self-hosted agent or Microsoft managed agent. That is managed agent. Okay, so we need to create our own self-hosted agent, and we need to configure these all the tasks, and all these also we need to configure. These all the tasks also we need to configure. Okay, so what is this meaning of in the variables? What is this meaning of group means?
Group is for walls and all.
Yeah, that is for the variable group we need to create. We need to create a variable group with the name called as release. Okay, so just I'll try to run that. Definitely it will fail.
Agents
So
of focus service. Get it.
we'll try to execute this one. Okay, for that, what are the prerequisites required? All those will create. Okay, just I'm going to run this. As of now, we don't have any triggers. Okay, so that means even if you commit also, it won't perform. But I'm going to pipeline. Manually, I'm executing that pipeline. This pipeline, I'm running that pipeline. Okay, from the main branch itself. Okay, I'm going to run that. Definitely it will fail, but now we'll try to make it execute. Okay, so now there was a resource authorization that pipeline is not valid. Docker input, we didn't have that service connections, all those we have not added to this. Okay, that is, and even that variable group also does not exist, or we don't have authorization for that. Okay, so these all we need to create. Okay, so then like in order to make it execute, okay, so to run this provide, like we need to set up that Azure DevOps. Already we have repository, and even in that we have the Docker file also we have. Okay, in our repository we have the Docker file. Then we need to create resources like ACR we are using to push that image, whatever the image we are building, we are pushing to ACR, and we are deploying into web app. We are deploying into web app. Okay, and what is the name of that according to our requirement? We need to choose this. Okay, so then we required a variable group also and our web app name. Okay, then our registry name also we need to provide. Our web app name and our registry name we need to provide to this in the variable groups. Then we need to establish the service connections also. We need to establish the service connections also will establish. Okay, so then here we'll set up. So first I'll create a First, I'll create Azure resources. Normally, in the real time, we'll create these all through PowerShell or ARM templates or Terraform we are going to use. So as of now, I'm going to create this manually. I'm going to create I'm going to this Azure, then container registry. I'm creating a new container registry. I'm creating a new container registry. I'm going to create. Okay, and even then Azure Web App also we need to create. Azure Web App also we need to create. So now here I'll use the existing resource group itself. Cloud RG I'm using. I've given this as my cloud ACR. My cloud ACR I have used, and my cloud ACR dot Azure ACR dot IO is the registry domain name. Okay, that is our registry domain name. And mostly I'm giving the public access itself, but in the real time we may create a private registries. Okay, so then with the default options, I'm creating. And what we required is we want first instead of deploying into Kubernetes, first we are deploying this into like web app we are going to deploy. Okay, so we are going to deploy this into web app we are going to deploy. Okay, so once we deploy this one, we will use the web app in the app services. Okay, so app service is nothing but a patch base in the in the AWS. We have Beanstalk directly. We can deploy our applications into Beanstalk. We can deploy. Okay, so then
So small dot, this app service can we use for microservices as well?
Small microservices we can use.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, but better to go for containers or Kubernetes itself, because this is a container web app itself we are deploying here.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So in this we are deploying the container web app itself, we are going to deploy. But one problem we have is uh, uh, we need to create a Windows uh, web app container. We need to create for the account we have some restrictions.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, but as of now, I'll try to use
Absolutely.
Linux. I'll try to use, but for
Yeah.
Windows, uh, we are uh, we are not getting that limit we are getting. I'll explore that any region we have that permission.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Clear.
We are in this Azure one subscription we have, and in that we have quotas would be there. The usage and the quotas. This quota is if that selected provider is not registered for that, I'll try to register that. So for the web app, like we are not getting that permission, but as of now, we'll use the Linux app service. I'll use later. We'll try to change to, but deployment wise, no issue. But what is the problem is our application doesn't work because with the that required Windows container. Okay, say here I need to give my web app name. I'm going to give. Say here we are giving web app my web app something. Have given here cloud web app I have given, and this is based on the container we are going to deploy. And for the Windows container, we are not getting the permission. Okay, and I'm using Windows shared plan. I'm using because if I use the dedicated plan, it's very expensive. For the production, we can use these kind of premium plans. Okay, but even for month itself, they're charging $263 something. Okay, but here I'm going to use shared infrastructure I'm using for these web apps, and as of now, I don't have any database. I'm trying to create that. But for this resource group, we are getting some issue. We are not, that quota is disabled at the organization level. So Windows containers are not allowed in this resource group. Even if I tried other resource group also, by default in the free subscription, we are getting that problem. I'll try to solve anywhere we can create a request for quota those. But as of now, I'm creating a Linux. This I'll try to create. So I'm giving cloud web app and container and Linux. So Canada Central we are using. So then we created that resources. Okay, those resources what we required for our pipeline is ACR, but the same pipeline what we need to do that assignment is we need to create a Kubernetes cluster and we need to create a service connection for the Kubernetes. On that we need to deploy. But already they given the pipeline is only for the app service they given the pipeline. But what is our expectation is what is our expectation is
Kubernetes.
okay. So we need to like deploy to
Kubernetes.
get to the Kubernetes. First, we'll try to set up till this. Then we'll try to set up like previously we have our pipeline with app service, but now we have enhanced our pipeline to deploy to Kubernetes also. We can tell. Okay, so now we have registry. Okay, so what is the registry name we have given is my cloud ACR we have given. Registry name we have given is my cloud ACR, and what is the app service name we have given is Cloud Web App. Okay, so then we are creating a because the variable group name in that pipeline we have is release is our pipeline. Okay, that release pipeline like sorry variable group we are going to create in our ADO. Okay, in our ADO in that project we have say here we have like we need to create the variable groups. Okay, then go to pipelines, libraries. Say in the pipeline library, we can create that variable group. I'm going to add the variable group. Okay, so then what is the variable group we have given is release is the variable group name we have given. Okay, so release is the variable group name, and you can give a description of what are the variable groups we want to give also we can specify here. Then we are going to declare what are the variables you want to use in this. So what is the name of that variable we have is web app name. Okay, so web app name. Okay, so now here the web app name. What is the web app name we have given is? So what is the name of the web app we have given is Cloud Web App. What is the name of the web app we have given is Cloud Web App, and we need to give the registry like a name. As of now, we are using ACR itself. Okay, the registry name is. So if it is Docker we are using docker.io, we are going to specify. Okay, so these two I have specified this. Okay, so then in the release library, we are going to use this. Okay, so then what we need to create is we need to create a service connection also. We need to specify. So I need to save this. Okay, then need to go to project settings. In the project settings, I need to create my service connections also. I need to create the service connections I need to create. As of now, we don't have any service connections. I'm trying to create the service connections also for my like a container. All these we need to create. Okay, so then like what are the service connections for the container registry settings we required? Okay, then for the container registry setting, and we required one resource manager service connection also for the like for that web app we required. Okay, so then I'm going to create a service connection. Then that is Azure Resource Manager service connection I'm going to use. Okay, so then based on the app base, Then it's going to authenticate also. I need to use that Azure credentials. This is that user ID. Then the password is. Then I'm authorizing that service account also. So I'll explain this app registration work identity wise we are going to authenticate. Otherwise, we can give even manage identities also we can give. Okay. If you want to give only resource group level, as of now, I'm using all resource groups, but to the specific resource group also we can give the permission we can give. Okay. So then I can give any of the service connection name I'm going to use service connection name. I need to specify any of the service connection name. We need to specify. So this I'm going to give the giving this service connection name and I'm granting the permissions also. After this, I need to create even a new service connection for the registry also. Okay. So in this, we need to set up instead of Azure Resource Manager, I need to use the Docker registry. So in this, our registry is Azure Container Registry. Azure Container Registry is our ACR as of now. Okay. So then workload identity we are using and our subscriptions we are getting. To load that registries. We'll set up this, the even that web app also we need to create a service connection. Or it's not Docker host, Docker registry. We need to have the Docker registry and Azure container registry we have. Then we need to configure that that registry setting. We need to get that. If we want to limit the access to that resource group, we can get that. And now here we are getting those registries. Then for that, for the ACR, I have created service connection. Then for that web app also, we need to create one service connection. We need to create. So we need to create the service connection. Even I'll try to run that pipeline. We'll see what is the error we are going to get. So now here, if I go to pipeline, subscription is this. It will be given resource manager. Source manager, spin, escape. This would be the name we need to give. Those all the like service connections, everything we have established. But one problem we are getting is we don't have that parallelism setting. So for this, what we can do is we'll take our own agent we have, right? On that agent, we'll set up that. So now currently on that VM, what is the capability we required is what is the capability we required for that VM is we require the Docker also. So we require the Docker capabilities also to that. Okay, so now here what I did is I have installed already Docker on that mission, and with which user we have login to this mission, with which user we have login with the Azure user, right? Then for the Azure user, if I want to give the permissions, what I need to do to the Docker, I need to give that user mod hyphen ag Docker, and to the which user we need to give the permissions here.
For Azure user, we have to
For
activate
Azure
Docker.
user, we need to give. Otherwise, if the Jenkins also try to run the Docker build commands, that will fail. Now, this agent I don't have in this project. I'll try to configure that agent also. I'll try to set up. Okay. So now what I'll try to do is I'll try to set up this agent in my project settings. Like in the agent pool, I'm going to create a new pool, which is a self-hosted. I've given cloud pool, and I need to give the access also to this. Now I need to like a cloud pool I'm running. Now what I'm trying to do is now this agent need to register to that pool. Okay, I need to register that. Already agent has been installed. Now what it is telling is first it's already registered with another pool. That is the reason I'm going to remove that one first. Okay, .config.sh. I'm removing. Then even it asks for the path also. Again, I'll get that path. Better to save that path. I'm regenerating the path here. Sorry, I need to enter that, then enter the path. Now, what it is going to happen is from the previous registration, it's going to be unregistered. Then again, I need to configure that. Okay, yes. Then our server URL, our organization server URL, we need to enter. This is my, sorry, not copied properly. I need to copy that server URL. Then authentication type PAT. I didn't copy that. I need to again enter that PAT token. I need to enter. I need to enter that PAT token. So now what is the agent pool name is cloud pool. I have given the name. My agent is the name I have given. So if you add any new capabilities, then we can run that script work directory slash work. Okay, so then this slash run also. Okay, so if any new capabilities or if you want to, like it's just like a scanning for the new tool capabilities, means if you install Docker after agent configuration, then again rerun this dot run dot sh. Then listening for the jobs also. Then in our pipeline, what we need to do? Azure pipelines. So I need to edit that pipeline. So as of now, wherever we have that VM image we have, we need to give the name. So name of the pool is cloud pool is the name we have. So what is the name is cloud pool we have. So for this stage also we have cloud pool and I need to commit these changes. Okay, I'm directly committing to a new branch. It's getting created. Said some decode run URL all this. So for this, what I'll do is I want to merge to like a master branch. I'm raising a new request. I think this is 0.22. Agent pool has been added. I'm going to raise a pull request. Then I'm going to approve that also. Okay, so now that pull request is going to merge. Now that code we need to get it into even your main branch also. To your main branch also, we need to get that. Now we have our cloud pool. Now go to that pipeline. Now run that pipeline from the main itself. If you want to directly commit from that, now that build pipeline is going to trigger. So we need to, on that agent, we need the permission. I'm giving the permission. Now that Git cloning is done, now it is going to build and push that image also. So now from the Docker file, what it is doing is on that agent, it is building the Docker file. So for that, what we done is on that agent, we install the Docker and we given that permission also to the Azure user. We given the permission. Otherwise, here we'll get an error. And Docker capabilities also, we need to scan that. That's the reason I run that .run.sh have run. So then after this build, it is going to push to ACR, it is going to push this. After that, in the deploy pipeline, instead of deploying into the Kubernetes, it is going to deploy to
Web app.
web app. But in that web app, we required a Windows container web app. But as of now, we are using Linux, but it would be deployed. We don't get that output. We'll try to deploy to, from this, what is that assignment for you is the same repo we need to deploy on the Kubernetes we need to deploy. So we need to create a AKS cluster and need to create a new service connection and add a new deployment pipeline. In that, instead of deploying to web app, that need to be deployed to Kubernetes, it need to deploy.
Sir, here there is no
Yeah.
sonar analysis in this
As of now,
pipeline.
we don't have, but we'll try to add that also. That 16th project I show, right?
Okay, sir.
That try to import that project and that add that marketplace extension also.
Okay, this is simple project for deploying into web app. Okay.
No. For this, we need to add that our Kubernetes we need to add. That is the
Okay, sir.
assignment. This.
Yeah, I understood. Yeah.
Okay. So now this is still that finalizing that job. Okay. So after that, what we need to do is like we need to go to this deployment job also is going to trigger. As of now, the deployment job is pending. Once this finalize is done, okay, then the deployment job is going to trigger. Try to understand this pipeline and service connections, and we'll add a maybe like a we'll add one vault also, and add that Kubernetes also. We need to add to this pipeline. We need to do that is the assignment for us. So now for the deployment again, it is asking these all permissions automatically we can give. So now the deployment job is going to trigger. So you try to manage multiple agents also, you try to keep in that cloud pool. Then that pipeline may be little fastly try to execute. Now it is deploying to that app container, it is deploying.
Sir, can we use these pipelines for the EKS also?
EKS also we need a marketplace extension may be required.
Marketplace extensions.
By default service
ECR we
connection,
can use, no?
that is by default in the AWS, we are getting AWS services, we are getting the service connections. But if you want to
Right, sir.
use
Yeah.
maybe other
Hmm.
like AWS, those also is supported, but that extensions, all that we need to configure. Just like in Jenkins, we need plugins,
Extensions.
right? Like for the AWS resources inbuilt, they're giving those service connections, all those. But if you want to authenticate with AWS resources, GCP resources, and to use those tasks, we need to use from the marketplace, we need to get those.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
But Azure DevOps mostly preferable in the situations where we have more Azure resources. If you have AWS, those people prefer to use GitHub Actions, they prefer to use. Okay, so now even that app service cloud web app, what it is done, it deployed the application and even it trying to restart that web app also. It is trying to restart that web app also. It is trying to deploy. Then it restarted that web app also. Go to our app services. This is our app service. So in this, we are going to get that one endpoint URL we are going to get. So normally in that our application should be like available in that URL. So from the deployment wise, it is able to deploy. Okay, so finishing the deployment job also. Once finished, like it need to deploy into in this app, it need to be deployed. But that's we are using a Linux based container, right? In that we this .NET based .NET Core may work. Okay, but try to do with the other application, try to import and try to set up. As of now, we are not getting we are not getting the Windows container permissions. We are not getting for our account. Maybe regions we may need to change. I'll explore that which region may support Windows containers. Okay, or we may need to raise a request quota. So then we'll deploy to that one. Okay, but as of now, the same pipeline try to deploy to Kubernetes. In the AKs, we can create Kubernetes. We can create on that agent like node pools. What you need to set up is Windows node pools. You try to set up instead of Linux node pools. Try to set up the Windows node pools you choose. So to that we need to deploy that application. Okay, so that try to do as a assignment. Otherwise, in the next session, we'll try to deploy that. Okay, so in this again we need to add some more stages are like maybe static code analysis. Then we need to use Azure Artifactories. Then scanning those images also we are going to add in the production environments. Okay,
Okay, sir. We'll do it.
sure.